Hey there, fellow collectors, and welcome to this episode of Toybox Drop on the Attack of the Nerd YouTube channel. This weekend, I had the pleasure to be able to attend the Anaheim Wondercon. In the midst of all the great cosplays, the great booths, of course, we're going to get some toy reveals from the Todd Father himself. But before we go any further, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel just so you stay in the loop whenever we drop new videos. Now, with the recent revelation that Mattel will be gaining back the global license for DC products, a lot of people are anticipating that McFarlane Toys will be going out of business as far as being able to produce DC figures. There still seems to be some things that need to be ironed out as far as how that's going to work out for McFarlane Toys. But in the meantime, it seems that McFarlane Toys are definitely going out with a bang heading into 2026 before the license goes to Mattel. So during the WonderCon panel, McFarlane made it a point to give us some great sneak previews of what's coming in the next couple months into next year. So off the top, now while they did not show any particular figures, McFarlane did announce that they will be creating some collectibles from the new Superman movie coming out from James Gunn. I think it's going to be interesting to see his interpretation of the new Superman costume, as well as the other characters that are going to be featured in the movie. I don't believe he gave any particular dates as far as when these figures will be debuting. Now, typically in these cases, the figures sometimes will drop maybe 2 to 3 months before the actual movie debuts. So with that being said, definitely want to keep your eyes out. Check out on the McFarlane page, as well as wherever else you may get your figures from. But that's enough of that. Let's get to the actual figures that we got to put our eyes on during the panel. So first up for spring 2025 coming, we have Jade Green Lantern, Batman 1 Million, Bizarro, Cowboy Batman, Eradicator, and also the Hal Jordan armor suit. Now, off the top, I can already tell you, I've already pre-ordered the Batman 1 Million figure. Now, I kind of was on the fence about it, whether or not I really wanted it, just kind of looking at the overall design. But I eventually decided, yes, this is something I wanted for my collection. So next up, we have Jade the Green Lantern. Now, this is the daughter of Alan Scott from the JSA. This looks like a pretty great figure and comic accurate so far from what I can see. It looks like she's going to be coming with some power effects as well to top the figure off. And here we also have a Cowboy Batman. At this point in my collection, I think I have one too many Batmans, honestly. But hey, Batman makes money. It sells. People love it. So this is a Cowboy Batman. If that's something you were looking for, I may probably pass this up. But so far from the sneak peek, it looks pretty cool. So if that's what you're into, I'll say go for it. And here on the back end also, we have the Hal Jordan armor suit from the Return of Superman. Now, honestly, I vaguely remember this armor suit during the Return of Superman comic run. I was honestly kind of in and out of the comics around then after Superman died, so I may have missed this. Looking at the preview, there may be a reuse for the steel hammer here. I may be wrong, but from what I can see, the design looks pretty much the same as the one that Steel has with his figure. And also, too, now that I really zoom into the picture, realizing that this is not only just Steel's hammer, this is also the complete body bug on the Green Lantern armor. I mean, that's not a bad thing. It just kind of is what it is. We know how these things go. But so far, like I said, it does look good. Just remains to be seen whether or not it's something I'm going to pick up. But I'm pretty sure a lot of people will definitely be grabbing this one. I mean, if you're all about beefing up your Green Lantern squad, this Green Lantern armor suit and Jade would be great for your collection. As far as the Hal Jordan armor suit, I'm not too sure I really want that, but once I see it in real life, I may change my tune, as I've been known to do. But I definitely do think I want the Jade figure as well. Here it looks like we're going to be getting a more traditional looking Bizarro, as it has the classic moniker right below it. A traditional Bizarro with the #1 Bizarro necklace around his neck. Looks to have the soft goods cape as well, which is becoming pretty much standard in McFarlane Toys. So yeah, this looks like something I definitely would want for my collection. And also now we have another Eradicator. Now, I have the previous drop for the Eradicator. I like it. is one of my favorites design-wise, but always felt like he was a little bit short and stumpy. Now, I don't know what they're going with this as of recently with this new Superman body book that they've been using. I believe it's the Crisis on Infinite Earths Superman body book. But they've been using it a lot lately with these more recent Superman figures coming out, which he seems to be a lot more symmetrical, has a little bit more height, a lot more balance than some of the previous figures of Superman that I've not liked. So, with that being said, my previous Eradicator figure, he was a little bit short, I felt like. He was a bit stumpy. So, hopefully, they're using that new Superman body buck with this one, and I can get a much better Eradicator for my collection. On the back end, though, I do hope they add in some power effects for his hands as well. I know they did it in the version I had, but it's kind of understated with the paint mock-up on his fingers and things like that. But I want some real like power and blast effects that you could add to his hands or do a switch out. And next up here, we have the new 52 Superman, Mr. Miracle, Sandman, Azrael from Night Quest, and also a Cyborg Superman from Return of Superman run. Honestly, I was never a big fan of the new 52 Superman version, but I didn't hate it as much as a lot of people did, especially the traditionalists that wanted the red underwear. Now, depending on how the final product looks, this will be a give or take or whether or not I pick it up. But so far, from what I'm seeing, it seems pretty true to the design from the comic books, and it does look good. However, I don't see any kind of armor segmentation on this one because in the new 52, it was more of an armor and not so much a regular suit. But again, this is early mock-ups, and that remains to be seen. That may be something they will add on. So this is not the final look for the figure, but this will be a red platinum edition. And with that being said, you know how that goes as far as availability and just being able to track these things down. Also, here we have the Azrael from Night Quest. Yes, I know I'm going out of order because I'm saving the best for last. I'm really excited about these other three ones. So let's get this out of the way. So we have the Azrael from Night Quest. So far, so good. I know they dropped quite a few Azraels over the past couple months or so, even the past couple years, really, for this version. We had the blue version, there's a red version. I believe there was a special edition black version, a Walmart exclusive that dropped a couple months ago that I really regret passing up on because that thing really looked good. But for the most part, it's another Azrael. The details still look pretty much the same from the previous design, but so far so good. If you're into Azrael and as far as the Bat mythos and your Bat family, this is definitely something you probably want to pick up. Okay, so these next three ones I'm very, very excited about right now. So we are finally getting to Mr. Miracle, which I've been waiting for a minute. And I'm going to go out on a limb here and hopefully we'll be getting a big barter pretty soon. Yeah, I'm really excited about getting this one. So far, this looks good. This looks very comic accurate. This is what I've been waiting for. Now, obviously, like I said, the soft goods has been the thing with these McFarlane figures as of lately, so I'm pretty sure he's probably going to be getting a soft goods cape. However, there's a possibility that it may be a plastic mold. And next up is the Sandman. Again, this has been a figure I've been kind of anticipating and waiting for because I'm kind of building a nice JSA lineup with some of my figures. Unfortunately, I wasn't too happy with the Wildcat drop, and I'm probably not going to pick that one up. I just don't like it. But either way, yeah, this looks pretty good so far. I've really been wanting a Sandman figure. For some reason, I've always loved that very detective noir kind of old school design with that gas mask. As ridiculous as it may look and seem, I've always kind of gravitated towards it. So I'm looking forward to getting this one. And finally, we have the Cyborg Superman from Return of Superman. Now, this is something, again, I've been waiting for a minute. I mean, sometime last year, I bought the new 52 Cyborg Superman and pretty much just chalked that up as that's going to be my Cyborg Superman because it just seemed like that McFarlane Toys was never coming out with a new one. And the only other ones I was seeing was from Effects, which I'm not paying those prices. And that was pretty much it. Unfortunately, the new 52 Cyborg Superman, doesn't really scale well with the rest of the figures because that dude got some height on him. But either way, it looks like we're finally going to be getting a new Cyborg Superman, and more than likely, again, they're probably going to be using that new Superman body buck that they've been using on a lot of the other figures. And if this comes out like I hope it is, I'm really looking forward to this. So I've been waiting for this one for a minute. Unfortunately, of course, this one is going to be a red platinum edition, so it may be hard to get. And honestly, I'm probably going to have to pull the trigger and pre-order this just to get it out of the way so I don't have any headaches or anxieties trying to get it. Okay, and moving right along, here we have Hawkgirl, Guy Gardner, Mr. Terrific, and Superman from the Strange Lives of Superman run. We are finally getting a Hawkgirl, which I've been waiting for again for a minute, especially having the Hawkman already. Now, unfortunately, her color scheme matches the Platinum Edition Hawkman that I do not have. And as far as I'm concerned, the resale prices right now for that are a little too out of my pocket. So I have the regular version one. So her color scheme won't match up, but that's just a loss I have to take unless I get lucky enough to catch the other one on sale or for at least a decent price. But this looks pretty much comic book accurate with Hawkgirl. She has a mace, her red boots, the green tights, the headgear. Now, one thing I do want to know, I think they may have missed the opportunity on, is the fact of not giving her a head sculpt that you can switch out. Now, this is not the final design, so they may actually do that once they release the figure. I'm kind of doubting if they do that because they didn't do that with Hawkman. Now, I would absolutely love if they gave her a head sculpt switch out without her mask on, but they don't do that. That's still fine too. That's not a make or break situation with this one. Now, next up is the Red Lantern Guy Gardner. Now, this is something I know a lot of people have been clamoring for, especially since they dropped the classic Guy Gardner in his Green Lantern, and they dropped the Platinum Chase version with his yellow ring. So it only seems right that they would actually drop the Red Lantern version, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to be clamoring for this one, as it is also a Red Platinum Chase, so it's probably going to be pretty hard to get, but if you're lucky enough to grab it, I'm happy for you. Now, for me, I'm probably going to pass on this one as much as I passed on the Yellow Ring one. Kind of just want the regular version, but if something happens that makes it where I can get this one, so be it, but I'm not going to be chasing it. Now, next up we have is the Red Platinum Chase version for Mr. Terrific. Now, this is from the Justice League Action cartoon run, which was a little bit more kid-friendly overall in presentation and animation design. Now, obviously, this is a complete repaint. Instead of the red, black, and white, he has the black, purple, and yellow. Purple face, black and yellow on the jacket, and he still has the same T-Spear effects. So overall, nothing much to see here. This is not really my thing with this one as far as this version of it. So I'm probably going to pass on it as well. Here we have this figure from Strange Lives of Superman. Now, those old Silver Age Superman comics used to have some wild stuff going on. So looking at Superman with a lion's head is pretty crazy. But you can see it's going to be coming with 2 head sculpt switch outs with a regular Superman face and I guess the big brain Superman version. Now, if you are a Superman enthusiast or completionist, this is definitely something that I'm pretty sure most will grab. For me, though, I'll pass on it. And now in this next round, so we have the Dark Archer, which I believe is Merlin, who usually tangles with Green Arrow, the Dark Star, Beast Boy, Kite Man, which is a deep cut and has been gaining a lot of popularity over the past couple of years or so, thanks to the Harley Quinn show, Mirror Master, Metron, and finally, a classic Deathstroke. I mean, the Dark Archer, the Beast Boy, and the Mirror Master look pretty good for the most part. Not so much details again. These are just mock-ups. The Mirror Master is another Platinum Red Chase. But I'm pretty sure a lot of people that want their Flash collection beefed up and rounded out will be going after this. The Merlin Dark Archer looks pretty good so far. And the Beast Boy looks to be the classic Beast Boy design from Teen Titans. So if you're looking to have that for your collection to go with a more traditional look, this is definitely something you want to grab. Now, the Dark Stars are a deep cut. I've always liked their design initially in the comics, and I'm surprised they're actually dropping a figure for the McFarlane line this time around. But based on what I know from the comics as far as that design, this should be a pretty great design if they knock it out the park. I mean, Kite Man is Kite Man. I mean, pretty much what you see is what you get with that one. It's not really much going on there, so it is what it is. I do wonder if they're going to use a soft goods situation or go with a plastic mold for his kite. But again, he's been gaining a lot of popularity recently, so I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of people that's going to want to grab this up when it drops. Here we have Metron from the New Gods, so that's pretty much Darkseid, Orion, and the rest of that ilk. I mean, Metron really doesn't do a lot in the comics, so I'm not too sure what he would come with other than his Mobius chair. Not Mobius chair. Jeez, Mobius chair. His Mobius chair. So I'm not really sure what else as far as design-wise, he's really going to come with when they drop this. But again, you will be surprised that the fans some of these deep cut characters have. So I'm pretty sure there's somebody out there that's very, very excited about finally getting the Metron. But now for me, this is where I get excited again. I'm finally getting a traditional version of Deathstroke. As I literally was just looking at a video for the new 52 drop Page Puncher Deathstroke. And while I was liking that design, I just kept saying, why won't they drop the version, the classic version with the pirate boots and the bandolier? That's the one I really, really want. And I didn't want to just have to buy the Page Punchers just for the simple fact of, all right, well, this is all they're going to give me. I guess I'll take this one. So it is great to know and see that we're finally getting the traditional classic version to Deathstroke. Now, per usual, I said it once and I'll say it again, and I guess we'll all keep saying it. We have enough Batman figures. But here he comes again. And for me, I probably won't be messing with this one. But again, hey, people love Batman. He sells. He is a moneymaker. He's a walking bank. And you can't go wrong, especially with coming out with the Batman Returns figure set. I mean, he already dropped the 1989 Batman figures as well as the Batman and Robin. So it's only right that they have to do the Batman Returns. And I'm okay with that. That's fine. I get it. So here we have the Batman design from Batman Returns. And I do remember in that movie that they did do some different sculpting and design on that suit in particular. I believe it was mostly around the ab area and around the chest as well. But for the most part, the rest of the suit was pretty much the same as the one in 1989. But as well, you're going to be getting the Penguin, a Catwoman, and a Max Schreck. The Penguin one looks pretty movie accurate to the way he was represented, as well as the Max Schreck. So there's not really much to go on there for the most part. The Catwoman one right now, because it is the mock-ups, you really can't see too much detail or how much they're going to really get into how much her costume was kind of stitched together and patchwork as it was in the movies. But with these mock-ups, you can only do but so much, I guess. So when it drops, I definitely hope there will be those details and nuances to her costume that you can see in the movie. But so far, so good. And also, it looks like we're going to be getting Penguin Commandos with the rockets and stuff on there. So that's going to be a nice little pickup, especially if you're trying to complete your Batman collection. That's pretty dope that they're actually deciding to do that. So that's hot. I like that. So next up, we have a Mr. Bones from Infinity Inc., a Superboy from The Return of Superman, and Wonder Woman from Wonder Woman #1, which is the classic version. Now, Mr. Bones, I'm not familiar with at all, nor am I even familiar with really Infinity Inc. Also believe that's where Jade comes from, as well as her brother Obsidian. So we may be getting an Obsidian later on down the line. Now, as far as I know, I believe Todd actually designed this character when he was working on Infinity Inc. So this may be a special figure for him, being the fact that it's something he initially designed during that run. I mean, it looks decent, looks interesting so far. I guess I'll have to see the final product before I make a decision about that. And now we're getting a proper Superboy drop. Now, I've passed up on a lot of these Superboy versions they've been dropping over the past couple of years, whether it was the Connor Kent with the t-shirt, which isn't bad, it's fine. The Superboy with John Kent, again, decent design, not really my thing, not really what I kind of grew up with. And I believe they dropped another one more recently with the newer Superboy with the leather jacket with the whole Superman core team. But if I had to get one, this is the version I wanted. But this is that classic version from that run of The Return of Superman where we got Superboy and the Reign of Superman. Now, they may throw in the jacket, which is cool. I'm not really a fan of their jackets as of lately, especially after getting the Mr. Terrific. If that's what they're going to be going with to use for the jacket, I don't want it because I don't like how that jacket looks on Mr. Terrific in general. So I really don't need that, but I'm pretty sure they probably will at least give him that leather jacket. But even without the jacket, I would get this right off the rip. And then we have the classic Wonder Woman from her debut in Wonder Woman #1. Now, being that I already have Superman from Action Comics #1, as well as Batman from Detective Comics classic version with the purple gloves, I might add, it's only right that I grab this Wonder Woman. Especially because I'm still kind of fuming over the fact that I missed out on that other Wonder Woman drop that came out not too long ago. And I cannot find her anywhere for a decent price at all. So this one, I'm not missing out on at all. And this next set has already been announced for the most part. They may be hitting some stores, depending on where you are. And we here have Dr. Fate, Two-Face, and Superman. Now, this is the Dr. Fate I've been waiting for. I saw a recent one they dropped. It's kind of more in the vein of the newest design, almost following the Black Adam. Not really my thing. I really wanted this classic Mr. Fate because I had this version when I was a kid from the Superpowers line, and I'm really looking forward to that drop. As much as I'm a Two-Face fan, I've really been waiting to get my hands on a Two-Face figure. I'm not really in love with this one. I've seen it a few times. I'm kind of on the fence about whether or not I want to be bothered with it. But hey, it's out there for those that do. Again, if you're building your Batman family and building out that collection, this is definitely something you will want to pick up. And this Superman here is from the classic Silver Age. Now, the head sculpt on this figure is based on the art by Jose Luis Garcia. Him, along with John Byrne, for when I think about Superman when I was growing up, visually in my mind, other than Christopher Reeve, of course. Visually, though, in my mind, I always see this version, or one of those versions. So this is definitely hitting that nostalgic pleasure center. Also from the digital run, we're getting the Batman from No Man's Land, Batgirl Stephanie Brown, a Monarch, and a Nightwing from the Bronze Age. I mean, the Batman looks good enough. It's Batman, black costume, yellow belt. You know what you're getting. You also have a Batgirl, Stephanie Brown, for those. Also, she was AKA Spoiler at one point. But for those, again, with the Batman family, you want to build out your collection. You definitely want to pick this up. And the Nightwing, this is definitely the classic look with him. But I gotta say, I'm really excited about this Monarch figure. I didn't expect this. I didn't hear anything about it other than just now when I was at WonderCon. But I like what I'm seeing so far, so I'm really looking forward to this one. Now, also, we don't know how this is going to turn out as far as the license situation. But I gotta say, McFarlane toys are going out with a bang right now if this is the last run into 2026. Now, while the Batman animated series figures aren't really my jam, I know for a lot of people what this is. So it looks like you'll be getting a classic Batman figure, the Gray Ghost, which is a nice cut. Also, Ra's al Ghul, or Ra's al Ghul, depending on what day of the week it is, how you feeling, Killer Croc, and the Jonah Hex. Now, I don't know, well, I haven't really been following the Batman animated series figures, so I don't know if they haven't really put out a classic Batman version, so I don't know if this is really impactful or a big deal. It may be. But design-wise, from what I'm seeing, these look pretty accurate to the show, pretty spot on, especially the Jonah Hex one. That is a great design for that figure based on the cartoon. And it looks like we're going to be getting a little bit more action from the Superpower Wave. And for those who like to collect these, you got a couple more to pick up. So it looks like you're getting the Animal Man, a Cyborg, Deadman, and Nightwing as well. There's also going to be a drop from the Super Friends line of 6-inch figures. So here you're getting the Batman, the Green Lantern, Lex Luthor, Riddler, and a classic Sinestro. Again, like I said, it's way too much stuff for me to collect everything. So I'm definitely going to be passing on these. But for everybody else that want to pick these up, you definitely want to keep your eyes out because these will be dropping next month. However, on the back end, I would love to see this version of Lex Luthor done in the 7-inch version. So, hey McFarlane, before you leave or however this is going to work out, let me get that version of Lex Luthor in 7-inch. Oh, I almost forgot. We do have to go back for a quick second. I almost forgot about this set of 5 right here as well, where we have the Batman from the Justice Lords, the Carter Hawk Green Lantern, not Green Lantern, Green Arrow, Our Man from JSA, Jim Gordon, and another Batman as well. Again, Batman's a moneymaker. He's the money maker, baby. So yeah, definitely I am interested in that Justice Lord's Batman because I do have the Justice Lord's Superman. So I need that set just to make everything complete. I don't know how much more time we really have into the 2026 or how these things going to work out. So I don't know if we may get a Justice Lord Wonder Woman at least to round out the Holy Trinity or the Unholy Trinity in that situation. But we'll see. The Carter Hawk Green Arrow, honestly, not really interested in that. But I must say, so far so good. It does look pretty good. I like the combination of the brown and the green. So if you're a Carter Hawk, a Green Arrow fan, this is definitely something you want to probably pick up. Now, the Hour Man, I'm definitely looking forward to this. This looks like it's probably going to be a reuse of the Spectre body buck and design with the plastic mold cape. It is what it is. That's fine. But I definitely am interested in this as well as hopefully a Dr. Midnight at some point. So I can keep rounding out this JSA team. I'm slowly but surely kind of putting together on the low. Jim Gordon, it's Jim. If you want to beef up your Batman collection and your family, this is for you. And again, we have another Batman. So that's just pretty much it. And also, McFarlane gave us some glimpses of his continuing collaborations with Marvel and the release of some more statues that are pretty much commemorating some classic Marvel covers or iconic moments in Marvel history. So up we have this Spider-Man from the Amazing Spider-Man 1. I believe that's from Mark Bagley's art. Looks pretty good, looks pretty consistent with that design from back then. So I like that. I'm really honestly not collecting any of these Marvel statues. Oh, I guess they're called statues, but I'm really not collecting any of these. But for those that do like these things, these look good so far, and I definitely think you want to keep your eyes open for some more of these as they come out. And here we have the Black Panther from the Marvel Knights #4. Pretty classic Black Panther with the Wakanda Forever cross hands. Looks good, great details. It looks like there's a lot of details in his costume from what I can see so far. But again, with these mock-ups, you really can't tell but so much. You'll have to see in person to see just how good it may get. Also, we have The Thing from Fantastic Four #642. Now, this one we have X-Men. This is Beast from X-Men #1. This is going to be a red platinum chase. This is Beast from the X-Men #1 cover, which was pretty much the splash page of all the X-Men going up against Magneto. And also we have the Carnage from the Amazing Spider-Man #362. Also, it looks like he's going to be doing one that's going to be commemorating his very first issue of the adjectiveless, the adjectiveless Spider-Man. And I actually have this book. This was the Torment run when he first debuted the Spider-Man #1 and his iconic artistry with the big eyes and the intricate webbing and the crazy poses that he really pretty much instilled in Spider-Man, and that you really see going on still to this day with other artists that came behind him. But yeah, this is going to be a great commemorative or recreation of that classic iconic cover. And lastly, we have he's going to be doing a Venom from Venom #5. He also has another red platinum chase for the Iron Man #256. Now, I actually still have this book. This is one of my favorite covers from the art of John Romita. Very underrated artist and very underrated run during his Iron Man days. So I definitely like how that looks. Looks really good. Great details in the shadowing and the blast effects and everything. I mean, if I had to pick one of these to pick up for myself, I probably would go with that one. Here we have a Punisher from Punisher #8. Looks pretty good. I mean, it's Punisher. You can't go wrong with that one. It's pretty straightforward. So there's Frank. You know what you're going to kind of get with that one. And then we have Spider-Man from Marvel Tales #223. I believe this was the debut of Dr. Octopus. I may be wrong in that one. I may have to do some research my own self. Jeez. I may have to do some research to make sure I'm right about that, but I do believe this may have been Doc Ock's debut. And then lastly, we have Deadpool from Deadpool #1. This looks pretty, this is actually a pretty good look for Deadpool. I'm not sure on the artist inspiration for this. This is definitely not Liefeld because I can see his feet. But it may be inspired by Liefeld. I don't know. I mean, the guns and the pouches would lead me to believe so, but who knows? And that's going to be it. I mean, we got a lot of dope reveals at this year's WonderCon, and I'm looking forward to, quite a few of these figures. I may be surprised by some others once I actually see them, other than these mock-ups. But while you're here, please take the time to sound off in the comments what figures that you see that you're looking forward to, don't really care about, or what figures didn't you see that you were hoping were coming that they didn't mention, or as far as you know, are not even making. And as usual, I'm your host, Deacon. I'm out of here, and until then, I'll see you in the toy aisle.